So key items that may seem unimportant will all stack up in the end, and we have vanilla encounter rates as well, so there's going to be a lot of encounters in this.
Yeah, but fortunately they found the mermaid floor right off the bat. Holy cow.
That's a big find. Everyone likes to see that early, especially with this forced party. There's a lot of treasure chests here, and it's going to get them started with some money as well, I believe.
Yeah, no, I mean, Maya's pretty much already got the cash he needs to kit out his party here in the first town. And that's a canoe right off the bat. So it looks like in spite of Ice's best efforts, this seed is at least... Oh, and there's Fade. And I think that's a Red Mage learnable slot to boot. But there's Nuke.
Well, we can all throw your blame at Tyrannix, people. He's the one that rolled the seed, and he will be our lovely tracker this evening.
Oh, no, this was, Mr. Marty J. 1987 who rolled this one up there over in chat. Oh, and there's the Power Gauntlet! Good... Oh, this is beautiful. So never mind, we're not going to be stuck here for too terribly long.
Yeah, I seem to remember saying something about this floor being good in terms of chests, and this is about as good as you can get.
Yeah, we even got a katana, so yeah, money's not a problem, and I don't think Ice looked in the castle.
No, he's diving right into this earth floor here.
Oh, there's
See what
the
he
ground.
finds out here. Wow, look at that.
Ice is probably going to be full of regrets when he turns around and discovers that he could have been very well prepared for this instead of kind of well prepared for this with all this Fade shot. Yeah, there's also Fog 2 available. I kind of missed that in the holy crap, is that Fade? And we got some Quad X action, which I always like to see Quad X early on because it's a really nice little, oh, this is a single trash mob that I don't feel like dealing with.
Yeah, this spell selection is phenomenal. You have Fog 2, you have Heal for a healing spell, you have an option of Mute there if you want to try and throw that into the mix, along with Nuke and Quad X. I believe I saw Stop as well.
Yeah. So yeah, it's one of those things where, go on.
In terms of level 1 magic, these runners are living the dream right now.
Yeah. I'm not even sure Maya is gonna feel, He'll probably go and check Temple of Fiends, but I wonder where he's gonna go after that. Actually, never mind. His only choice is to go to Provoca. We have vanilla map on... No, we have... One sec. Yeah, no, we have vanilla map on, so his only option is to head toward Provoca. Though he does have the option of heading toward the Ice Cave as well. Well, they both do, but...
That's correct. There is no open progression in this, so Provoca will be the next play.
And no, this party was not drafted. Ice rolled. Ice decided to go with four forced random, and this is what the seed gave them. And Artea pointing out that there is no bridge. So, yeah, I am not used to this heavy vanilla. I apologize in advance for every time I'm going to make that mistake tonight. But yeah, no, this is the incredibly inconvenient no free anything except Sardin Sage items. So, yeah, Artea's right, there's something else on the vampire floor.
Which means you have a chance of encountering a large number of enemies in the Earth Cave, and that's why it kind of is a dangerous place, akin to the Marsh Cave.
Yeah, fortunately, like, there's a decent chunk of firepower going on.
So I'm still hoping for the starter-locked ship. Maybe we'll see that, but it's doubtful. Airship, excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those things, though, where without incentive locations, all the seed's really looking for is, can they, actually access these things?
Yeah, Falconic noting in chat, Maya's just diving right in here. He gets a pretty good gold chest there in the far-off chest in Earth 3.
I mean, it's one of those things. I can't imagine that he's sitting here thinking that Ice is going to, take his time and just gently grind. Like, he knows this is where he has to go, and anything he runs into, Ice is also having to fight his way through.
Looks like that fighter got stunned there, and then he's down.
Oh well, free lunch for the red mage and the white mage. Assuming they survive, obviously.
Could be tricky getting out of here. I mean, they'll fall to a nuke or a fade, but if they stun you before you can get it off, you're in trouble.
Now that Maya only has one nuke left at this point.
Seems like both of these runners are taking some pretty, big gambles early here, trying to look for that early advantage.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, they know their progression somewhere in here, so they're going ahead and at least finding it so that they can come back and dig it out, I'd reckon.
Oh no, and it looks like Maya has the encounter of doom on that floor.
Yeah. But the bright side is he now has the intel that he doesn't have to waste steps checking all those chests. Yeah, that is another thing that is vanilla here, is unrunnability is the same as it is in vanilla. So... you're gonna have to know what you can and can't run from, which I imagine both of these runners know. Alright, so it looks like we are going to be sailing the Ocean Blue Czar after all.
Yeah, Ice taking on the Earth there, taking it down, and discovers the ship.
Yeah. Now, the bright side is with that canoe, these runners are going to have access to everything on the southern continent, and that is a ribbon there in the ruby chest. They are completely vanilla. Vanilla scripts, vanilla runnability, vanilla stats. The only thing that is not going to be vanilla is the RNG table.
So undoubtedly their knowledge of the vanilla game serves each runner here, and I think it's going to be imperative moving forward, as you can get sucked into rando so much that you kind of lose touch with vanilla at times, and when you come back to it, it's like, wow, how hard was this again?
Yeah, like, it's one of those things, I'll be the first one to admit, I barely remember anything about the vanilla game. But the flip side to it is, there's enough that's different to kind of still keep these runners on their toes too.
Yeah, and they certainly have enough early magic to get to where they need to go, make the decisions they need to make. I think a lot of this run is going to come down to execution and good note-taking.
Yeah, now, the question is, now that they've got this ship, do you bother heading over to the Provoca area, or do you go ahead and make that Elfland sweep, and maybe think about going ahead and making the river run, since that also opens up Volcano and the Crescent Lake entrances?
Well, I think you have to check the towns first, on the off chance you might find a warp or an exit, and that can save you immense time early, so You might want to put up a tent outside of Corneria. That's kind of right in the center. And then make your run, see if the spell you want is there, is the item from the pirates, if that is indeed the provoke a town. And then after that, make your decision. But first priority, I think, is towns and spells at this point.
Well, the thing is, I think with these flags, towns aren't guaranteed to be at towns.
They're not, no. But once you get there, you can confirm it. And if you get lucky, you find a level 2, an elf land, something like that, you might benefit from it.
Yeah, I guess Provoca is a fast check from the shore, as opposed to Elfland or the Dwarf Cave. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we do see something like a Sail to Provoca, or it looks like Ice is picking Matoya first. And then if it's nothing good, just reset out, instead of trying to save your way there. But Ice is going to go ahead and make a liar out of me.
Yep, he's gonna see what's going on in this witch cave, and it is Crescent Island. Hello, there's an item here possibly in the shop. And
yeah,
not.
Well, if nothing else, there is the sage location that he can go ahead and check. And he's going to be able to get some decent early armor up there.
Yeah, good armor there. Chain armor is the standard early for your red mage and your fighter. Steel armor available as well, but it's quite expensive.
Yeah, and yeah, it's one of those things where if it were a little bit cheaper, I could see the wish to go ahead and get that absorb go up and running.
Looks like we saw Lightning 3 in the level 6 black magic shop there. Not much else of note, really, in those level 6 magic shops.
I mean, you already have almost everything you want except a life spell and, Cure 4 or Heal 3. I guess maybe Invis 2 is also on the list. But yeah, as Artea was pointing out in chat, there are no incentive locations tonight. So, the old man there was just basically a chest you don't have to fight your way to. Otherwise, we are looking at a ridiculous amount of map shuffling going on. All locations are scrambled, and we've got floor shuffle going. But what we also have is, sorcerers have their death touch back. So, this is a happy, fun time for everyone.
Yeah, sorcerers are going to be no joke. You're going to have to get rid of them early, or you're going to be into big trouble, because it doesn't matter how much hit points you have, Death Touch will drop you.
Also, do you like ice caves full of stun touch enemies? Because, yeah, this is an ice cave full of stun touch enemies. Just like everyone remembers in their nightmare. Below that is the waterfall.
Yeah, these are dungeons where you can dive, get knowledge early, and then hopefully come back with warp or exit after you find the town. Because you're going to lose all kinds of time having to walk in and out of here, given the vanilla antics.
Yeah, but waterfall, if memory serves, is not that bad in terms of enemy scripts and abilities. I mean, that poison's not great, but...
Yeah, in vanilla terms, you gotta worry about the mummies a little bit.
And I guess the
have to worry about the Paralisk.
Yeah, Paralisk, that's it. But, you have a decently low chance of not having to worry about the Paralisks. And the bright side is...
Nightmares.
Yeah, they hit hard, but outside of that, like... you can probably chew through them with all those nukes and fades you've got at your disposal. Now, the thing about that ice cave, though, that's basically the second shortest ice cave floor after, the one that no one ever thinks about because it's literally 3 steps between the staircases. So this may be walkable at level 10.
Yeah, he's still got some spell charges here. He's gonna need a little bit of luck, but he might get out. And Waterfall usually has some good stuff. There's 7 chests here and an item, so...
Well, it's not an incentive location, so it's just the chest. But it is still a bunch of chests. Oh,
And
hey, look!
wow, look at that.
There's that rare gas D fight. And there was that rare gas D fight. It's gonna score Ice another level.
Yeah, the spell's carrying right now. And the robot is giving up the katana, so there's another chunk of gold there.
Yeah, because with the price clamping as it is, that katana is going to be worth a lot. Yeah, it looks like Ice is going to go ahead and head on out of here. Now, with already being around level 12, like, he may be able to get out of here just on the sheer, you know, runaway factor at this. But yeah, we've already seen both katanas so far in this seed, and not much else aside from Watercraft. Now, Maya decided to take an overland route from Matoya, and it looks like he may be going ahead to hit up the Peninsula of Power.
Do it, Maya. Make the move. Peninsula Power hype.
Yeah, because that is a solid play in this vanilla setup. Because you know that nothing there's gonna have a nasty surprise. There's gonna be some nasty things, but nothing that's a surprise.
Yeah, with Nuke and Fade available, should be able to get some very easy experience here. A couple houses. Looks like he does have a house, so I think he'll take advantage of that here as well. And Ice is out. So
Yeah.
that was a good sweep there for Ice. I would say he has a slight lead at the moment.
Yeah, he didn't find anything in the way of progression, but those levels are going to be delicious. Like, with level 12, he might almost feel comfortable diving Marsh Cave. If he finds it. Might.
And Maya scoring the big experience and gold encounter there. That's what you want to see there, is those zombles.
Yeah, and... you know, a couple more fights like that, and the only thing Ice is going to have on Maya is having already checked those 7 chests.
I love it. I love an early POP play. It's a veteran move, and I enjoy seeing this move in today's age.
You may all set your VMI up by 1. Now that is a veteran move, remembering that you can just hop in that river and scoot right over to the Northwest Castle.
Yeah, without knowing that, you'll lose time.
Oh, and there's the loot.
So the Titan, very giving tonight, allowing us to get the loot without even having to give him a ruby.
Now, we may still have to give him a ruby. We do not know where that canal is, and we may need it to get out of the inner sea. Unless the Titan's tunnel gets us there.
That's true, there's a slim chance that the other side of Titan's tunnel could lead to progression. We have seen it before, and it's one of the really intricate and whimsical parts that you can encounter in this type of shuffle randomizer.
Alright, nothing much for us here in this Cardia Cave, aside from a really nice weapon for our fighter.
Yes,
But,
Heal staff could be clutch late. It doesn't happen very often, but sometimes you run out of heals and you get that encounter where they're not hitting you very hard. You can heal up.
Alright, so Ice is going to leave his ship docked near that old castle that turned out to be a cave tunnel. And he's going to go ahead and go check the marsh cave location. Well, it looks like Maya has exhausted his resources at the Peninsula of Power for the moment. And maybe deliberating going ahead. Yeah, he's going to go ahead and dive down into Ice Cave.
Looks like Ice has discovered the fork in the road in the Sea Shrine. This is where, if you don't take notes, you can kind of get thrown off. Especially if one fork ends up leading to the other one in Marsh Cave.
I was gonna say, is it really... Would you consider this a French vanilla situation where you have a fork at a fork location?
I wouldn't quite say it's a Fred or an Entroper, but it's close.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is very clearly like, maybe not French vanilla, but like one of those weird things where it's like, it's almost vanilla, but they like add a strawberry flavor on top of the vanilla just to confuse your tongue a little bit.
Are you trying to make me hungry, Wout?
No, but you know, that's just a lovely side effect. In any case, it looks like the right branch here leads not to the mermaids, but to the teleporter maze, which is just the normal teleporter pattern, so Ice is going to be able to just go left, left, up, or I guess right, up, or down, whatever.
That's correct. The only teleporter shuffle we'll be seeing in these flags is in Castle Ordeals.
To explain for the unfamiliar, French vanilla is just a term found in various randomizer communities. It just means it's not exactly like the original game, but it's really close. So in this case, the Marsh Cave entrance normally leads to the second floor of Marsh Cave, which has a north-south split that leads into two different sets of floors. In this case, the Marsh Cave entrance took us to the middle floor of Sea Shrine that branches off toward Kraken or the Mermaids. So, you know, it's kind of like the original, but different. Anyway, Ice has opted to go ahead and continue exploring this floor of the Sky Cave, and it's going to take him to Bahamut.
Out of bounds bad siding. Let's see your emotes if you got them, chat.
And Bahamut leads to the first floor of Mirage Tower. Now, one thing we will not be seeing at the bottom of this is the Temple of Fiends. The Deep Topher flag is off for today. And, well, there's the best sword in the game.
Yeah, it's this floor is loaded. We have a Woat sword and a floater.
Actually, if I'm not mistaken, with weapon fixes off, the Sun Sword should actually be better than usual, shouldn't it?
With weapon fixes off, that's correct. Sunsword is on par with Defense, Excalibur, Masmium.
Nice.
So we also found the rod here on this floor, so that's going to be a substantial find.
Yeah. And yeah, with that canoe in hand, Ice is probably never going to touch his boat again.
Yeah, sadly we won't be seeing any sailing shenanigans, I don't think, for very long in this seed.
That's what the spring tournament's for. In any case, it looks like Maya has successfully extracted himself from the ice waterfall, whatever, Provoca. So he's probably not going to be far behind Ice. The big thing that's probably going to slow him down is if he chooses to go left instead of right. And Ice has decided he's had enough of this branch. That was the top of Ice Cave.
Yeah, that's a bitter floor there. I mean, it's literally bitter cold. There's wizards there, there's mummies there, there's cockatrice there. It's just no good.
Yeah, it's not a fun place. However, you're still sorcerers here, so...
So it'll be interesting to see if that's required later. This could be a dangerous dive unless they can really find some good equipment.
Yeah, because the problem with that floor is there's another staircase in there. There's something else deeper. And we have not seen any themed floors yet, so...
Ice having to deal with the good old sea hag encounter here. ichbinmiah finding a flame sword, and that's going to be a significant attack upgrade for his fighter.
Yeah. I believe Ice has his flame sword now on his red mage. Yeah, and Ice... Yeah, Ice is gonna go ahead and go probably cash in that floater. There is... Even if he does want to keep digging Marsh Cave, he might as well go ahead and have his wings and see about getting, you know, at least a second spell level that he can cast.
Second spell level would be nice. Maya now picking up his loot and discovering that the Titan is a musical Titan.
Alright, so Maya is going to go ahead and reclaim his ship. That move suggests to me he's probably going to dock at Elfland and head to the Marsh Cave by that route.
Looks like that might be his move, as Ice discovers an opal bracelet here in the Zardia Islands.
Yeah, that's the second Cardia Cave we've seen, so there should only be one more with substantial treasure plus Bahamut, right?
Yeah, there are 3 islands that are worth your time going to check in vanilla, and in most randomizer cases, wherever those locations are shuffled to.
Alright, nothing of note at level 7 Black Magic. And nothing really at level 7 White Magic, so that's a lucky break there. Because you want to see nothing important at 7 and 8. Pretty much anytime you're doing a Magic Shuffle randomizer like this. Because you ain't seen 7 or 8.
Maya finding the opal bracelet, and Ice picking up some gold bracelets, so you have almost optimal armor for your mages now. Bracelets are always good finds when you have a mage-heavy party.
Yeah, between the chests they've opened that had money in them and those 2 katanas being early, they're not going to be hurting for money pretty much until they start, you know, filling out their spell list probably, and even then, they're probably still going to be fun.
Yeah, at some point I think with these early spells like Fade and Nuke, they're going to be establishing a lengthy grind somewhere. With these spells, it could even be a group location like we have in Waterfall with the Wizard Mummies. It'll be really interesting to see where they end up grinding at. And the gold is going to become an issue late, as you come into level 6 spells, which can be anywhere from 20k, level 7 spells, 45k, and of course level 8 spells max price in here.
Yeah. I think one thing that they may both be kind of rooting for is a relatively early warp and a shallow eye floor.
Oh yeah, I mean, everybody's always hoping for that. It's get in, get out with your grind, and you don't have to worry about losing it. I've seen so many grinds that have been lost just to RNG. It's a terrible thing to happen. And we have a big discovery in the level 2 White Magic shop.
Ow! Now, spell fixes are still on, so that Xfer with vanilla stats could come in handy.
Yeah, I would definitely sort out your magic so you get at least one mage with X for here. It looks like the only good black magic spell really here is Saber. So, with the mage heavy party, you kind of have to choose your spells wisely. You might get spells you normally would pass on, just so you could fill out your list and have it on hand in case you need it.
Yeah, and I mean, it's one of those things... sorry.
Oh, we're just gonna see these pirates get nuked here.
Yeah. Yeah, I do sometimes forget that, as Artea is pointing out in chat. xFR is magic defense, which xFR messes with. xFR messes with your defenses, and MDef never gets modified. But okay, so xFR is just as useful as it always is in Randomizer, is the point. But there are things that are far more annoying that you might want to xFR in this one just to clear them out quicker, which is help. But yeah, the thing I was also going to point out though is you do have the possibility of getting a knight, and so far the first 2 levels of white magic are stacked.
That's a very good point. The knight could be quite useful, depending on if those spells become available or not. We haven't seen a tail yet, and given this shuffle, the tail could be anywhere at this point. Those pirates must be pretty hard up. All they had was a wooden helmet.
Look, man, look. Their boat sank, and all they were able to get out of it was the bucket they were trying to bail it out with. And you know what? Maybe losing even their bucket's gonna make them reconsider their life choices.
Speaking about life choices, I'm sure Maya is happy that he bought a few softs, as his fighter just got stoned there by that Medusa.
You know, it took me a little bit to realize the theme of his names there.
Ice discovers the Q block in Volcano. So you have to make a note of that. That could be required later. And he's going to check the ice location, and he will find Bahamut.
Yeah, meanwhile, Maya has found the floor of ludicrous goodness. And, unfortunately, he's gonna need the airship to be able to, you know, go and get that exit spell, but he shouldn't have any trouble walking out of here with his ill-gotten gains.
So both runners are going to be in the air within about 35 minutes here. I don't see this seed going on too long unless we see a big troll in Temple.
I mean, we still haven't seen a single Fiend floor yet.
And Garland has been knocked down.
Yeah, now the bright side is the Temple of Fiends is in no way, shape, or form threatening. At least the top floor. Revisit's another story, obviously. Let's see, we got Elfland at the other end of the Titan's Tunnel.
So note's kind of filling out now. And we have another fork in the Earth Cave.
Yeah, so there's our second fork, and Ice is going to go ahead and start delving this one. Like, we've got to be close to bumping into at least one Fiend's floor. But not quite yet, because here is the Armory.
Yeah, this is a good find in Entrance Shuffle. There's a lot of chests here. There's grind tiles you can check. And if you can get out, you can be spared some encounter steps with the damage tiles below. And there's a black shirt. That's a good find.
Oh, yeah. But the chest density itself is really nice, and oh hey, look at that! There's some peeds to feed the party's XP supply.
Yes, EXP is good. Very good. So, once Maya takes the air, it's going to be interesting to see if we see any divergence between these runners.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised, personally, if Maya opted to instead go ahead and just start checking Cardia Island entrances.
There's a lot of locations there, and it's a relatively quick check if you can get in and out of them early.
Yeah, I mean, it's high density, they're all convenient to airship locations. So, you know, that would, if we see a divergence, that's what it's probably going to be, is Maya's going to head north where Ice went along the east-west axis. I think he may be opting to keep that white, well, I guess the clinic was a bit out of the way, so that white mage might just be down because Maya was trying to save time getting his airship.
Yeah, that's an interesting strat here. If you really want to save time, could you apply a 3-man strat here? It's definitely something on the table with 2 white mages, but having that extra fade on a white mage at level 1 is hard to pass up.
Well, we'll find out here in a moment what Maya's thinking is. But yeah, we have a request for a quick summary of the flags. Basically, xIceblue attempted to make this a nice, long, vanilla stroll. Maya adjusted the XP gain upward a little bit, and then Ice proceeded, and the Seed decided that Ice's plans were for nothing and threw Fade and Nuke at us at level 1. And everything else since then has been running around collecting treasures once they found their ship and then their floater. Weapon fixes are off, actually.
Boo, no good Vorpal. Weapon fixes should be mandatory, as always on.
You realize there's a non-zero chance that that's the entire motivation for turning weapon fixes off in some cases, right?
For some, perhaps, but for others, it is different.
Yeah, it looks like we have found the Sky... and there's the Mosmune.
Yeah, so they're loaded now for not only spells, but also offensive attack with the Bonk, Mosmune. It's just going to be about levels and execution from here, I think.
Well, we still have to find the key. Yeah, we're still short a key, since the floors and Topher are not going to be shuffled, and who knows what else we need from there. All 4 fiends could be safely in front of item lock.
Could be, we have several. We have not really seen that much yet in the seed, although we've been over most of the mid to southern continents.
Alright, so Maya is making his eastern southern continent checks. And now we'll see where he's planning to go, while Ice finishes digging out Sky 3. And yeah, Maya's going to do the same thing. He's going to dig out the Melman continent, it looks like.
Mirror images of one another, almost, these runners. It's been really interesting to see how this race is developing. And we still have to see so much more here.
Yeah, pretty much the difference right now is Ice had an easier time getting out of that early vampire floor.
Lyra calling out Trashmune in chat.
Well, Yes, Lyra is a defender of her favorite sword waifu. We know this. Yeah, and chat pointing out Maya did also spend some time on the Peninsula of Power, although I'm not sure that made that much of a difference, considering Ice did spend a little time picking up levels. Can't quite remember where. Ah, yeah. Ice had a slightly slower trip through the Provoca location, since he did have those lower levels, getting through that ice floor and waterfall. So I don't know if the Peninsula of Power is necessarily the difference maker on that one.
I think any difference would be more towards gold as opposed to experience, so... Maya having to think about going to see the Elf Prince there, but decides not to, realizing that he, forgot something.
Was it really forgetting something? Well, here we go. Here's a Fiend floor.
Alright, we're gonna get our first look at Lich here. Should go down pretty easily, but Lich can be packing some heat sometimes, like Blizzard or a Blaze can catch you off guard.
Yeah, but you're also packing a Sun Sword, a Maza, and Fade out the wazoo. And Nuke out the wazoo.
Yeah, with these flags, I don't think Lich is going to be up to the task today.
And everyone appreciate Lich's only action. And we're done.
Thalfin catching my contradiction there. Well done, Thalfin.
Also, I just realized that was in the Earth Cave location. Well done, Seed.
There are some really strong vanilla overtones in this run.
And here's Carrie.
So we've discovered 2 of the 4 fiends within mere seconds of one another.
In the same dungeon, in fact.
Who rolled this crap?
I believe this one is brought to us courtesy of Speed Gaming. Looks like Ice is taking the chance to go ahead and beat up on this red dragon a little bit before he goes and deals with Carrie.
I think this is a good move. You have good equipment, but sometimes Carrie can catch you off guard with a big hit, and having a little bit of extra hit points on that fighter, who gains a lot of hit points every level, sometimes that extra level or 2 can get you by safely.
Yeah, so this is a question, you know, while we're waiting for Carrie. What level would you feel comfortable heading into Topher without weapon fixes on and vanilla stats all around?
Well, we haven't seen Fast yet, so that's definitely on the table. I don't think it's going to be a big option given the spells. I'm thinking maybe 21, 22, take a dive. If it's bad, gotta go to 26, 27 probably.
Yeah, I guess it's probably more a consequence of the encounter table than anything. Because I'd have to assume that, like, probably the deciding factor is what kind of MDef you need to kind of get through a lot of the nastiness that Topher can throw at you.
Yeah, sometimes in Randomizer, Temple can be a breeze. It's not going to be one tonight, because we're dealing with a lot of vanilla values. And it's a long dungeon. It's full of difficult enemies and unrunnable encounters. They're going to have to be well prepared going into their dive.
Yeah, chat pointing out that we did find Cornelia Castle and got about 900 gold, less than that.
And iCiceblue has just found some dynamite in the Sharknado floor.
That's gonna be nice for a little extra XP and gold gain.
Sometimes that extra item can be huge if you're in a close race and you're both kind of grinding at the same time, as we find the ruby as well. So that's a 20% gain on this floor alone. Big find for iCiceblue here.
Yeah, sadly, the Titan is probably going hungry tonight.
Devs, we need to make an incentive where you feed the Titan the ruby and you get 10 extra experience.
Yeah, we should probably mention it to the dev team later. Yeah, so what we're looking at right now is Maya is going to be digging out these two fiends that we know are down here, while Ice starts to dig out what's hidden in the Cardia Islands, it looks like.
So basically what we've seen thus far is Ice taking a little more risks in diving these locations, and Maya's been a little slower, a little more progressive, a little safer. At some point I think Maya's going to have to make a big gamble to try and overtake Ice, because he's got really good execution late. He knows with these vanilla values what he's getting into. But again, with Nuke and Fade level 1, if you can get levels enough to where you get those 9 charges, you're almost guaranteed to get through, barring a complete troll.
Yeah, now Maya did opt to go ahead and exit out on that Sky 3 floor, which, if memory serves, is only a couple of floors above where Lich ultimately is buried. So, you know, he's going to lose a little bit of time relative to Ice just from having to retrace his footsteps. I think Ice has dug out that floor, and is going to go ahead and save with what he's got before diving back in to head for the stairs.
With exit available, why not? It's you're not going to lose that much time walking back down there. Gather as much information as you can, and then if you're not too far out, go ahead and make your move. It's just a lot of the meta that kind of entrance shuffle adds.
Alright, and we found the bottom of this cave with the north side of marsh.
And Ice is going to play some bridge.
Oh, there's that bridge that I thought we had at the beginning, because I'm not used to that being off.
ichbinmiah now has a mass mune. He's got to feel good about his equipment and his spells right now.
Yeah, I think about the only thing these runners are really looking for at this point in the spell department is to find that Melmond and Elfland entrances so that they at least know what they're probably looking at for their Topher dive in terms of spell options.
Artea suggesting Artea strats and say, find the fiends and screw these chests. I don't know, sometimes, you know, a vanilla Temple of Fiends can get in your head a little bit and make you think you gotta prepare a little more.
Yeah, I have to assume that's what's at least going through Ice's head at this point.
we
Yeah.
can score another ribbon there for Ice. That's gotta feel good. And we find Sarda the Hermit. What does he have for us this time? He has a silver dagger. Oh, Sarda, how you have fallen.
Ah, there's the other end of our Titan's Cave. Alright, yeah, here we go. He probably didn't. Exit is a level 2 spell in this seed, and, well, there's Temperate level 3 black magic, alongside Warp.
Yeah, with Temper on the table now, I'm not really concerned about fast as much.
And we have Invis 2 at level 3 white magic. And there's Cure 3 and Heal 3. Alright, I'd say that those 4 levels of magic have almost everything you really could want, aside from, like, Life 2 and Cure 4.
Yeah, that's about it. Life 2, Cure 4, fast. I would definitely feel comfortable diving Temple with the spell selection.
Yeah, I'm apt to agree. That is... Yeah, that's the spellbook you want. At this point, all Ice probably is wanting is levels and maybe some more defensive equipment to make sure that his party can survive the dive.
So where do you do the grind here? Are you thinking about the eye? I think I'd probably go for the eye. You've got 2 ribbons now. You've got spells.
Have we seen the eye any... Oh no! We have, Sky 1, don't we? If we can figure out if the eye is somewhere early in that encounter table, then that might be the play.
Yeah, those floors give a lot of experience. You run into enemies that are not too bad, like Manticores and Grey Nagas with 1 error.
Yeah, and that's right. We haven't shuffled how encounters work in this seed, so... Yeah, it's just a matter of how many steps do you need to get to that first eye encounter. And that is probably on the table at that point.
Maya's going to take his go at carry here, and again, we see him just right behind Ice. The difference, I think, right now is about 4 minutes, I believe.
Well, there is fast. So, probably not going to be seeing that this seed. By which I mean, I don't think we are going to see that this seed. That's in the wrong slot for a red wizard to learn it.
Yep, fast off the table now. Don't really got to worry about spells from this point. I think you kind of have to find where these fiends are at, if you're going to need extra items. We're going to take a look at ordeals possibly here.
Now, so Maya's got his two orbs lit, and is probably going to be making that cardia trip soon.
He's got to feel shorted by the princess and the king only giving him a small amount of gold there.
Lyra, meanwhile, attempting to destroy everyone's... I don't even know what Lyra's trying to break, just everything with those puns.
The puns are infectious tonight. They're going around.
Yeah. In the meantime, we got a little bit of a Naga fight going on. And there's the tail.
Well, I mean, if you didn't feel good about your situation already, there you go. You know where Bahamut's at. You can make that stop if you want to make it.
Yeah, and you can load up that Knight for War. So, yeah. Yeah, now the question is, if Maya's gonna check the, Castle of Ordeal. Ooh,
Yeah,
he's
work
gonna go back
together.
to check that rod block.
So we do see the divergence here. We haven't seen many divergences yet in this run, but this is one of the first. Ice finds an ice armor. He's got to like that.
Yeah, and I think he found a flame shield right in that first greed chest on the way in. So, he probably won't bother to go back and get that, but if he's thinking about, you know, ribbon distribution, that at least might be a consideration. Just to kind of help keep those white mages alive until you get closer to the end.
Yeah, gotta be on the table. And while you do have a lot of magic with your white mages and a lot of defensive abilities and healing abilities, your max HP department doesn't really start excelling until about level 24, 25.
Well, he's getting close to that point.
And then there's the argument of, do you just, skip the class change and skip the time it takes to go back and have the knight learn those huge spells and just try to go?
I think with... I don't know. I think it's too tempting with that early fade and those other spells available early on.
White shirt found in the reverse seafloor. And again, this has just got to feel better and better for Ice as he picks up all of this really good equipment here without too much time lost digging around.
Oh, but there's the dragon armor.
And with that find, Maya's got to, instantly be thinking, okay, tail might be worth digging out, and we have an adamant as well. So with weapon fixes off, Excalibur is a powerful sword. It has very high hit, very high damage, and is it comparable to a weapon fixed Warple? Probably not, but it's still a very good sword.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things, it's another tool in the arsenal.
I really like the defense sword. I think the defense sword is far underrated.
Yeah, I mean, if nothing else, even with weapon fixes off, or even with weapon fixes on, you don't turn your nose up at the defense.
This is not the first time that xIceblue has had his notifications going here. I'm starting to wonder if he's trolling us or not.
Now, here's something to think about, though, Czar. Here's Kraken.
Yeah, he's looking for that third orb here. He's definitely got the firepower.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
He's not putting up much of a fight.
He's under Temple of Fiends. Ice went ahead and cleared out that vampire floor at the beginning of the seed. How long do you think it's going to be before he decides to go back and check that rod spot?
It could actually be a while, depending on what he's thinking and his routing. Hey, Bismarck, welcome. You did that on purpose? Well, okay.
And also, looking back at their spell list, there is one pretty reasonable argument I can think of for why you might want to... Well, actually, no, with vanilla stats, never mind. Having an extra Invis 2 caster may not be nearly as imperative with vanilla stats as it might be if the enemies could get their ridiculous number of hits that we're used to seeing with Randomizer.
Yeah, with just, maybe a couple defense swords, a couple invis 2s, you should be good from any physical. I'd be much more worried about the spells. And, against Chaos, do you wait for Chaos to use Cure 4, or do you try to go straight at him?
I think with the weapon selection and the spell selection they have a pretty good shot. Like, they do also have that power bonk that they found really early on. I think with what they've got at their disposal, they can probably chew through Chaos before Chaos can get around to that Cure 4.
Yeah, definitely have the potential to do it, as xIceblue lights up his third orb here. He's narrowing that gap of the lead that Ice had very quickly.
Yeah, I would imagine, though, when Ice gets around to going back to finish out dungeons that he didn't already clear, Provoka will probably take priority over Temple of Fiends. He's about to make a liar out of me, isn't he?
We're about to find out here shortly, I think.
Oh yeah, we're totally about to find out. But I have to imagine that because of how deep he went in that right fork. Oh no, was it? Was Provoka or was it? No, Provoka was light. It was Marsh Cave that he didn't get to the bottom of, and there we go. He's gonna make a liar out of me right away.
He's doing that dive as Maya is clearing up the islands here, discovers a dead end.
But yeah, it's one of those things where, like, I have to imagine that that the Marsh Cave is probably going to be the next place Ice goes back to check, because that's another loose end in terms of dungeons he's explored. And it's, I think, probably one of the only dungeon locations that, he's not going to have to take a lot of time to get to that isn't blocked by a key item.
That's correct, and we haven't really seen him looking to go back to Bahamut yet either, even though he has a tail, so he doesn't seem very interested in class changing at the moment.
Yeah. Well, I believe if he checks chests on this next floor, because that's going to be Agama floor, he is going to find that dragon armor, and that might change his mind.
It looks like we found the 4th floor volcano, finds an opal armor and decides to skip it, I believe. Did he skip it?
Not 100% sure.
It's getting animated here in the chat.
Yeah, I've occasionally been having to turn my mic audio off because, working in an archive does not do your sinuses any favor.
And we see these men are not very bad at all, considering you have Nuke and Fate available.
I just like how Ice looked at the chest, walked away for a moment, and then realized what was in the chest and turned around. I think the fact he did that is going to lean him toward going ahead and getting that class change. Because if I'm not mistaken, he is also have an Aegis shield in his back pocket. So that is a combination that may incline him to just go ahead and say, you know what, we're going to go with the vanilla strategy of just pile the knight up with most of the elemental defenses and stick ribbons on the people who are going to get their butts whooped otherwise.
Yeah, with the dragon armor and an Aegis shield, chances of needing that ribbon are low, but they can happen. Sometimes you have the knight as your main solid attacker and you put him in the bottom slot. You want to keep him alive. The ribbon gives you the highest chance to do that.
Yeah. It's definitely one of those things where, this is an interesting gear situation with this seed. And by interesting, I mean, seriously, it's like the game was just thumbing its nose at Ice's attempt to drag this out.
Right? There's definitely been some contradictions to what I think Ice was going for here, but we haven't seen Temple yet, so I wouldn't write everything off just as yet. And to elaborate a little further on my ribbon point earlier, I think we had wall available early at level 2, so even without that ribbon, you could just throw a wall up and you should be good.
Yeah, that is true. And that might actually be the stronger argument for going ahead and getting that knight, that fighter, some spell casting.
xIceblue now looking to take down Kraken. Should have no problem.
And it looks like Maya is actually taking advantage of the fact that the eye is available on this floor's encounter table. Or was taking advantage of.
You better watch out there, Bismarck. You're in hostile territory here. We have Bira in the chat. We don't want to make this about us, though. This is about these runners here. As Maya now finds the ruby, he's going to get some extra experience from that. That's got to feel pretty good.
And TNT is up in the Sharknado room if memory serves. Ice, meanwhile, going ahead and checking chests on the spider floor. What do you think he's still looking for, Zar?
It's difficult to say. I mean, well, he found something there that we know he has feelings about. It looks like he's going to take it for the time being.
I mean, the volcano is relatively close to his current position.
We'll see
And
what
that's
he
not a
decides
dig
to do
against the
with that.
Vorpal, that's literally just a prediction.
So this is another floor here where you can build up a lot of experience. And we find that the slab is in the vanilla
Slab?
adamant chest. Maya picking up the TNT from the Sharknado room now. He's going to take this Gray Shark encounter here. This is a good grind, considering the spells that they have. Very high experience and gold from this encounter.
Yeah. At this point, the real question is, where on earth is Tiamat hiding? Because that's basically the only thing standing in our way. Well, that and... well, never mind.
There's a slim chance we might see something mechanical on the way to Tiamat. We can all hope for that.
I mean, it'd take both runners being pretty deep in the encounter table. Which could happen if Tiamat's deep.
So Ice is digging out this star floor here, and it doesn't look like he's looking for experience because he's running from encounters. There's something he wants to dig out here, and I'm not quite sure what it could be other than defense.
He may be looking for cube, because we know the cube block is shallow in the Cardia Islands. Or it might. Oh wait, no, was it Cardia or was it somewhere else? But point being, we know that the cube block is the first floor of one of these entrances. So he may be thinking like, oh wait, never mind, this is Tiamat's floor.
Yeah, with Tiamat's floor now, cube block will not be required, and the cube location was at the volcano. So suddenly Ice is running toward the finish line here, he got through the Sea Shrine very quickly in Kraken. Maya's gonna have to kind of step on the gas pedal here if he's gonna catch up to him.
It looks like Maya is continuing this kind of symmetry thing he's been having with Ice the entire time. He's heading to Ordeals.
Yeah, the routing has been nearly identical aside from, I think, one divergence. And it's actually been quite efficient as well.
Tyrannek's making an excellent observation. We haven't been able to get the key yet. And because we haven't shuffled Fetch Quest NPCs, that key requires us to figure out where on Earth Northwest Castle is.
Yeah, that's correct. And it could very well be underneath the cube, so we might be looking at a block here of sorts. There's a few more overworld locations left to check. I don't think they have seen Onrak, so we have seen that location. Suddenly the plot thickens here.
Yeah, no, this is... Alright, so Maya's gonna get his... I just realized that the tail is at Ordeals. Now, we did find Matoya. I can't remember for the life of me where we found Matoya, but no, we definitely have seen Matoya, this seed. So, the only thing they don't know is Astos' location.
Ice is gonna dive back into this fork here.
Yeah, because this earlier, before he went and did Temple of Fiends, was what I was speculating he might have done first. Because this was a pretty deep series of entrances, and he did not find the bottom. Because, yeah, that's right, this eventually leads to the top floor of Ice Cave. And as soon as he saw that, he just turned around and left.
Yeah, he noped out of that. He's much more prepared now. But the danger's still there, especially with the sorcerers. I don't think you can counter sorcerers on the first floor, though. So if it's just first floor, he should be fine.
Yeah, he still has to worry about stuns and stone, but I think at the level he's at now, he probably has the MDef to kind of worry about. And yeah, that was Elfland Castle at the right entrance of Titan's Tunnel.
Well, both of these runners have been pretty thorough when it comes to checking chests. I think that's going to benefit them more as we continue to try and track down these items that might be required. Especially the key, which we know is required.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome you to the world's longest dungeon. Please settle in and enjoy seeing almost every floor in the game that we haven't already seen.
It's quite a jaunt here, isn't it? Oh, wow. And it ends up with ice.
Yeah, that's a dead end right there. But
everything's coming up ice.
He does have warp, if I'm not mistaken. Or at least we've seen warp. No! Wait. Warp was somewhere castable, wasn't it?
Warp
the answer was,
30,
third level magic.
And he's out of there.
And he's having to think now about where else he can go. I think at this point, the Onrak... Okay, he's gonna go ahead and get his class change, but I have to think Onrak Waterfall is his only option at this point if he's not going to dig out that ice cave.
Yeah, there's not too many spots left here. We've seen both of the forks, so those are off the table. It's got to be a straight line in one of these locations.
Well, one of these locations could very easily lead... one of those spare locations is probably Melmond. And that at least lets us go back to Lefane, which we have found, and get the chime to check Mirage Tower.
We're almost an hour and 15 minutes in now. I think the runners are pretty comfortable with their equipment and their fiends, but I think there's a lot of growing concern here. Where is this item? Could it be locked? So Onrak ends up being a dead end. That won't be the answer we're looking for.
Yeah. Ice performing a veteran move here and going ahead and saving before he hits the river up, in case waterfall is also not the answer he's looking for. But it is.
Hey, make Melman green again. It looks like the waterfall's doing him some good there.
Is that really green? That kind of just looks turquoise. Maybe aqua. Oh look, there's life too. And lamp.
Life 2, Lamp, Harm 4, and then we have Brack, Slow 2, Bane available in the Black Magic shop.
So yeah, I think this means Northwest Castle's gotta be over at Mirage Tower. Because I don't think it can be at the bottom of a dungeon, can it?
In this flag set, I don't believe so. Well, actually, it might be possible, yeah. I think the Deep Temple flag is off. But I'm not sure about that flag. ichbinmiah checking the Oasis there. Not sure what he might be looking for.
He may not have seen the vendor item yet. Alright, yeah, our tracker Tyrannex in chat confirming Northwest can actually be deep, so yeah, it could still be buried behind that cube block, and that cube could be at the bottom of Ice Cave. Yeah, Ice just checked the top 3 chests in Ice Cave and then left. So if that cube is now at the bottom of Ice Cave, he's going to have to go back. And that is a long hike.
Yeah, that kind of surprised me there, that he didn't elect to finish that off. He had Warp and Exit, but let's see what these Toga guys have. And predictably, it's the chime.
Yeah, he may very well have figured, well, Northwest could very easily be, you know, at Mirage.
And we find a castle at Mirage, but it's not Northwest Castle.
Yeah, a little less ruiny.
So with Warp navigating, this maze becomes much easier. You have charges that can take you right back to where you might have taken the wrong pillar. It basically almost cuts in half your time navigating this maze.
Yeah, because we did wind up shuffling pillars in this flag set, so...
So Maya now sailing away from the Waterfall Millman.
To be precise, Ice Cave was at the bottom of the long dungeon on the right side of the Sea Shrine split, which is under Marsh Cave. Both of them have been back to the Vampire Room. The Vampire Room led eventually to Kraken Floor.
Let's see if Ordeals is hiding anything good here. Will we find our answer here, maybe? There's a slim chance.
Yeah, actually, I think at this point... the only 2 places I think left that Northwest could be is behind Oxyale or behind Cube. Because I think we've seen the bottom of every other dungeon at this point.
Yeah, process of elimination is narrowing these branches here very quickly.
which
We only found
means
a
that
ring there in Ordeals.
either Cube or Oxyal's got to be at the bottom of Ice Cave, unless I'm forgetting chests that no one checked.
I don't think we've seen greater than less than room yet, have we?
We haven't, but we also there's also that. I'm just trying to think of dungeons that we haven't been to that we still have question marks in, and I think the only question mark really left is at the bottom of Ice Cave.
Yeah, I think it might be there in that long path. Maya's there now. Looks like he's going to check the left side of this fork first. It's under the right side that it leads to, correct?
Yeah, the right side is that long path that eventually terminates at the bottom of Ice Cave. Wonder
So
what
we all started here thinking it might be a jet seed is anything but. I'm sorry, what? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'm wondering what Ice feels like he missed back here in Ordeals, because I thought he was still being thorough at this point.
I thought so as well. I know he cleared the reverse C room.
Wonder if he's thinking he might have skipped it, or one of these other chests that are kind of out of the way.
The way things are developing here, it's definitely turning out to be in a place that neither runner really wanted to go to.
Yeah, I'm honestly drawing a blank on what's at the bottom of Ordeals here. Let's see. Maya, meanwhile, actually, did Ice dig out the right side of Spider Room?
He did. Ice went all the way through Spider Room. He cleared it completely.
Okay. Because I remember him clearing at the left side, and I thought I remember him doing the right side, but I couldn't remember for sure. Fetch Quest is vanilla. Oh, there we go. He did, in fact, throw the Vorpal into the volcano.
We have Blasphemy on the screen. My eyes, the goggles do nothing, they burn.
Oh! That's a problem.
Oh, Ice. Did you invoke the curse of the Vorpal? Please don't tell me you did, buddy.
It appears that Ice's save file is, gone.
Oh no. This is I don't want to say it's because he threw the Vorpal in the volcano, but the timing of it is very suspect, is it not, everyone? Oh, that's terrible, though. I mean...
Yeah,
We're an hour and 23 in here. That's, you gotta think that's GG. Somebody clip that. Because the timing of it was almost uncanny. And, I mean, I feel for Ice. That's terrible.
Yeah, they are discussing, well, he is at least talking about it in the IRC, so we'll keep you posted if any sort of conversation starts up there. Because Maya is just now looking at it. I suspect we will see him possibly stop here for a little.
Wow, that's extremely unfortunate to have that happen this point in the race. I do believe, I know xIceblue and ichbinmiah to be stand-up gentlemen, good sports. They will probably agree to do a re-race. I don't think Maya wants to win on these terms, but it looks like he will try to finish the seed out as he is currently nuking Tiamat.
Well, we are on a little bit of a delay, so we'll see what happens from here. Yeah, there it is. Maya has offered a rematch, and we'll see what Ice has to say.
Well, it appears that we have come to a very strange position here within this race currently. I'm not sure if Maya's going to finish out this seed or not, but we'll be finding that out shortly. And again, I'm not saying it was the Vorpal, everybody, but what have we all just witnessed here? I mean, this is unprecedented. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before.
Yeah, I have to kind of agree with the theory that Ice may have reset too quickly, and it turns out that they're serious when they say, wait until the game is done saving to reset or turn off your power. I've never tempted fate in my entire lifetime, but maybe that's just the way it is.
Yeah, it's I'm inquiring as to status for ichbinmiah currently.
To recap for folks who may not have been paying too much attention, while digging out one of the remaining dungeons, I believe he was in Ordeals, Ice reset, went to save his game and, do some encounter manipulation, and somewhere in the process his save file got corrupted and lost. So Ice's progress has been completely erased. He is back at basically a fresh file.
Okay, so ichbinmiah said he is going to finish this run. We will keep it with ichbinmiah. We will see what this temple has to offer when we do answer these unanswered questions we've had throughout this seed.
And I'm not sure what Ice is thinking of doing.
I think Ice has just gone full tilt, and his eyes to the power of the Vorpal may be opened a bit. No, as I say that, he's continuing to tempt fate, everyone. Ambushed by some wraiths here. They don't appear to be hitting very difficult. Excuse me, very hard though. Yeah, I'm sure these two will be looking into scheduling a rematch with Speed Gaming in the near future. I mean, it was a great race up until that point. Everything was, still kind of up in the air. We were still pretty close.
Yeah, so Maya is going to come up on this ice floor soon, and I can't imagine he's not going to go ahead and dig this out.
Yeah, as soon as ichbinmiah found out that it happened, he offered the rematch. I knew he would. He's a classy guy. And I don't think Artea will have any arguments about it either, as he is the administrator, organizer of this tournament.
Oh, actually, I forgot. I skipped these chests too.
And we find there's the defense sword that we've had some questions about. I don't know, Chad. I'm not sure how superstitious or supernatural you are, but it's hard to argue with what we've just seen here.
I'm just saying, if I ever decide to run any races in this game, I may have to pour out a libation to the Vorpal Sword just to be on the safe side? Question mark?
The rabbit hole just gets deeper, everyone, and I can tell you that from experience.
Absolutely.
Anyway, we have xIceblue fading some images here. He's going to check out these chests in the southwest part of the Earth's 4th floor.
The one whose voice is incredibly relaxing is Czar. The one who keeps modulating the pitch of his voice is me.
Modulating the pitch, is that what you call that, Woe?
I mean, you got a better name for it that isn't going to leave me feeling insulted?
No, I just, I kind of like how you presented that, so I'm gonna have to start using that.
Fair enough.
So, I don't know if we're gonna get Ice in here for an interview. Let's see if he's in the setup room. He's not yet.
I believe that Ice is... Ice apparently is currently, I think, conversing on his stream. He asked us to pull audio away from him if it was on him. Excuse me. So I have to assume that that means he is probably going to be venting about that for a bit before coming in here. If he comes in here at all.
I'm sure that in some way or another I will be hearing about this. Wow, this is, welcome to Final Fantasy Randomizer, everybody. Welcome to our community.
I mean, again, he did very explicitly say, hey, I'm gonna turn on my mic here in a minute. Please take the audio off of my stream. So, and I'm sure that he said it exactly like that, because we all know that's how Ice talks. But yeah. So here we go, folks.
Is now into uncharted territory here, yes.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and get back to what Maya's up to. Which is dealing with a bunch of unrunnable encounters and encounters that are just going to stun lock.
I'm not sure about everyone else, but I prefer my ice cave with no vanilla. Yes, it is very tasty. It's one of the few things that I don't like with vanilla, but it's Ice Cave. It's just one of those things.
I would just point out, though, that Vanilla Ice also just has a completely nasty stand.
I knew it was coming in at some point here.
Look, someone already broke out the dang woos. You might as well. So far, though, I don't think we've seen the progression that we know has to be somewhere.
We have not. We've been an awful lot of places. We've checked an awful lot of chests. We still do not have a cube. We still do not have an Oxyel.
Yeah, there's 3 chests left here, and then after that, I am honestly kind of racking my brain at the moment trying to think where else they haven't been.
If you're one of the devs, you might be starting to sweat a little bit here, thinking, oh god, where is it? And we find there's the bottle.
There's the bottle. That's going to take us to our Oxyel. That's going to get us into whatever's behind on.
So the answer was indeed in that bottom of Ice Cave, and it seems that Ice was doomed the moment that he decided not to dig that out. Wow.
I mean, he kind of was, but the thing is he was running out of locations quickly. Like, there's a pretty good chance he would have been heading back that way about the time Maya started to dig that out.
Yeah, a pretty good chance of that. And to your next noting in chat, yeah, this was anyone's race until the magic of the Vorpal apparently was manifest.
I swear, Czar, if y'all have turned that sword into a tulpa, I'm going to be mildly annoyed. I'm just going to throw that one out there while we're sitting here discussing what happened.
So such an old term. I feel old now. We have some text showing up on iCiceblue screen. He still appears a bit tilted about what's happened here. I've warned him many times.
This is just beautiful.
You can't make this stuff up. I mean, this is what we've all witnessed here.
I'm also thinking Maya may have forgotten where Onrak is, because I don't think it was up in Waterfall.
No, I'm not sure why he would be wanting to return there. That's where Melman is at.
Slab.
Oh, that's right. He did just pick up the slab. He's going to see the doctor. So meanwhile, we're 136 into the seed now, and we might be looking at close to 2 hours here, which is, I think in a roundabout way what Ice was going for, but this is, he had a hand in what has happened here today.
This is the weirdest way to get a stupidly long seed out of mostly vanilla settings.
Well, I must say that not much surprises me, really, but what has happened here today has surprised me quite a bit. Am I going to fade away these Cerebus here and the Wizard Ogre? Pretty good experience encounter here.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things Maya still has to be thinking about, you know, getting through the Temple of Fiends, if we ever get there.
Well, he's level 28 now, so I don't think levels will be a concern. He's got spell charges, he's got the tail. I don't think he's actually found Bahamut yet, but he's on the right path.
No, he found Bahamut.
Oh, he did find Bahamut, okay.
Yeah, he did that whole sweep up the east coast of the southern continent after he got the airship, so he's seen Bahamut's cave.
Yeah, I can hear Ice's thoughts already. He's already thinking, if I wasn't on the microphone, then this wouldn't happen. It's Czar's fault.
Alright, Maya's not going to bother digging through ordeals yet. It's convenient, and he knows he's got at least Oxyel block to check.
Yeah, not many places left to check here, really.
Yeah, and fortunately, we know that that there's not a cube up there, so you know, either Northwest Castle. Actually, no matter what, cube's got to be down here. It's just a question of if it's in Astos' closet or not.
Well, we found the second floor of Earth Cave, which is another kind of long floor with chests at both the north and the south.
Yeah, it's what, 6 or 7 chests? Maybe 8?
A couple spike tiles here, too, if you're looking to check those out.
Yeah. And it's got an exit, so there's also the possibility that Northwest is just buried down here deeper. Yeah, at this point, Czar, would you be more apt to check chests in case you do need the cube, or just go ahead and find out what's at the bottom down here in case you don't?
Well, at this point, with equipment and everything, I think I'm checking everything on the way down. Let's just get it all in one sweep, find out where this is at, so we can progress and move on here.
Yeah, makes sense. I think I personally, at this stage, would be more inclined to just go, Alright, I'm looking for a location, and worst case scenario, I can run back through this floor real quick if it turns out that the bottom of this is... I don't even know what dead ends left.
A question in chat about the loot. Turnex does, or excuse me, xIceblue does have the loot. So if we could get that lit up on the tracker, please.
Yeah, I think it came on kind of in the midst of Fast and Furious exploration, because that was at the Titan's Gate. Oh, hey, there's our third ribbon!
So really loaded now, defensively. Only thing standing in the way here is progression.
The only thing standing in the way here is freaking Astos.
The Dark Elf. It's see, that's another aspect of this whole race today. Is the real troll here is the Dark Elf.
Yeah. Doing a much better job of hiding himself away than he did in Vanilla.
And here we have the greater than less than room, finally. First time we've seen it 1 hour 40 minutes into the seed.
Yeah.
This is a good example of what can go wrong in Entrance Randomizer and Vanilla. I know we kind of talked about it before the race, but I didn't think we would see it unfold in this manner.
This is a very impressive demonstration of that, too. Like, it's kind of just, you know... So, for those of you who aren't familiar with the logic behind the Final Fantasy Randomizer, it's not like, say, Z3R, where, you know, it carefully places out the breadcrumb trail you need to get from the beginning to the end of the seed. It's more of a, alright, we're gonna just throw everything at the wall, and then we're gonna double check to make sure this is actually beatable. And then if it's beatable, okay, this is a valid seed, let's do this. And this would be an example of of a seed that is entirely valid, but also terrible in every conceivable way.
We have discovered the cube. It was in the greater than less than room. Tucked away deep. We still are looking for the Dark Elf. I got a feeling he's not very far.
Come on! Come on, Seed! Oh, hey, the dwarves! That's the other dead end I couldn't remember. No, we found that earlier. It was actually, I believe, on that long route that led to the bottom of Ice Cave. Astos has to be behind the cube block. That's literally the only descent left. Meanwhile,
That's
Maya...
so incredibly trolly.
Forgetting that he hasn't class changed yet and trying to equip the Excalibur anyway.
Maya now humoring us with the canal.
I mean, Maya? Maya? Do you remember why you're down here? You remember what you're looking for? I know you don't, because you just tried to open the key door.
Looks like he's interested in these Earth Cave chests here as well.
I don't know why. Does he... He remembers he has the crown already, right?
At this point, you're an hour 43 in. There's a lot of things that have happened. I'm not sure. He might have gone full tilt, sort of like Ice did here a little bit ago.
Oh, the crown was the first chest they opened out after the mermaid floor.
It was very early.
I'm hoping he remembers.
Well, Maya's gonna have these questions that we have answered for us very shortly, I'm sure. It's a good moment to give a thanks to Speed Gaming this evening for coming out and giving us the time. Thank you all for sticking with us and viewing this exceptional race this evening. Thank you, Wout, for coming out and coming on the mic with me, and thank you to Tyrnex for tracking.
Yeah, and thank you, Czar, for having the brain that I don't when it comes to some of this vanilla stuff.
It's been a thorough showcase, that's for sure. We've seen everything that vanilla has to offer and more. Maya saying no to these wings. He's got to be thinking, I need to get into temple at this point.
Oh, hey, look, it's Astos. Hi, Astos. Do you know what we've been through to get here?
Hopefully Maya remembers where Matoya's at, because there's that crystal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he took good notes. Please, Maya, please have taken good notes. Okay, Maya forgetting how to navigate to the ice cave from the volcano. But he gets there eventually.
You can tell he wants to be two places at once. He wants to get that class change, and he wants to get to his other destination at the same time.
And here, I believe we are seeing the wild ichbinmiah trying to remember how swords work when you don't have them fixed.
Yeah, I had a little bit of a think there on his menu. He's gonna swatch around some things on the armor menu here. Definitely wants that Aegis shield. So now, will Maya go and get spells for the night, is the next question here.
I imagine that that'll be part of his final sweep before he heads to Topher. Like, it's pretty much on the way, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, so Matoya was at Sark.
He does remember where she's at?
Actually, he may not bother getting spells in that night, because Elfland is literally right next to Topher.
Yeah, another reason is that he's still going to need 2-3 levels before he gets some spell charges on that night, and at his level, that could take a while. He's already high level.
Yeah, I mean, technically the most efficient way to get, to get those levels is literally to go ahead and go into Topher.
Yes, you are correct, Noctis. I speak the slang term for the good people.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't need magic on his knight, but that doesn't change the fact that he might want it anyway.
So we're coming up in Temple here. What do you think we'll see, Will? You think we'll see a nuke from Lich? Kappa?
I think it comes down to what the turn order winds up as. Yeah, nah, he is going to just go ahead and finish this seed out.
Or is he?
Maya, we've been here for almost 2 hours. Please just go kill the embodiment of chaos so we can leave.
Looks like he's doing some menuing here. He wants.
Yeah, he's going ahead and. Yeah, he wants those heals in a good spot, and unfortunately, those houses are the only thing he has left.
Okay, at 149, ichbinmiah has entered the Temple of Fiends. This is by no means over. Temple of Fiends comes down to a lot of RNG in these encounters. He gets the preemptive there. That's going to help a lot.
I just realized this is an unrunnable Phantom in vanilla, isn't it?
I believe it should be, yes, and it's confirmed. Might want to throw out a couple Harm 4s here. Did he get Harm 4? I don't think he did.
Oh yeah, but it's also a Phantom with vanilla stats, so it's not the vicious god of death that it is in more chaotic randomization.
Maya saying no to the validation chests. He needs no validation at this point.
And Artea, hopefully in chat, listing out all the unrunnable problems that you will have in the Temple of Fiends Revisit.
Can always be a clincher, especially that walk after Tiamat to Chaos. You could see 2-3 encounters. That floor has one of the highest encounter rates in the game, I believe.
Yeah, however, this floor is at least reminding you how many Frost Giant encounters are present in the vanilla table.
Come on, Maya, you can do this. We don't want to see those 7 sorcerers.
Oh, he'll be fine. Maya knows his step routing. The only question is if our RNG on this one is going to give him the bad luck on where the 7 lands.
I'm hoping to see an Iron Golem myself.
Have you not done enough tonight with your Vorpal Sword, Czar?
If we end up seeing an Iron Golem, then I'm gonna do a backflip.
If we wind up seeing an Iron Golem, before you do that, you owe me 6 numbers, preferably under 49.
Ah, yes, the 6-number shuffle that we have all sought after so long.
Exactly.
Maya saying no to these green Medusas. At this point, he's just trying to finish.
Yeah.
And let's indeed hope that he does.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. I assume he's taking every runaway he can because he knows how many fights in this temple he's going to have to take.
So I believe this is game 1 of this series.
Game 2.
This is game 2, okay.
Yeah. And I guess technically at this point it's game 1.5, since they did agree to a rematch.
So you know for the rematch, it's gotta be you and me on the microphone, right? Well, and we gotta get Tier Next on the track.
Depends on when it's scheduled. I am going to be out of town next week. Spring break, woo! I apologize if that was too loud.
Someone's eager for spring break.
I get to go see Twill, who was in chat earlier.
Ah, an acquaintance of yours, nice.
Yes, acquaintance, that's a good way to phrase it.
ichbinmiah now coming up on carry. He's gonna heal up. Don't anticipate any real danger here.
But yeah, so... yeah. No, this... I can't imagine we're going to see too much trouble from the Fiend refights themselves.
I'd be a little
Mostly
worried about
because of
Kraken
that.
too. Be a little worried about Tiamat too. You never know. Bane can always really decide to give you a 3 and 256. We've all been there.
With as many life spells as are available to this party, it would take a lot.
Yes, we are looking at vanilla stats here. And I'm really interested to see if Maya gets to Chaos, how is he going to tackle Chaos? Is he going to wait for the Cure 4 or is he just going to go?
Like I said earlier, he's got the Power Gauntlet, he's got Temper at his disposal on the Red Mage, and he knows how far in that Cure 4 is. He may decide to try and Cuisinart his way through before he gets to that.
Noctis burning down the chat tonight. You better raise your flame shield there, Noctis.
Yeah, Maya's not even worried about Kraken, too. He just goes full offensive. The next attack probably will take him out. Yeah, there it is.
Cruising through this temple, no problems at all so far. Gonna be stymied a little bit here by these undead.
Yeah, it's adorable that they cast Aether like this party has at any point used elemental attacks.
Yeah, you know what? I don't think we've seen a Fire 3, an Ice 3. We haven't seen any of that from his party.
We haven't even seen them use items. This has literally just been fighter swing sword, everyone else unleashes hell.
I will be right back. I need to step away for one brief moment.
Alrighty. Oh, there's that Bane that hits the one character without a ribbon. But that's fine because, Tiamat's dead. And we have 12 shots of life too, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, we're probably going to see the white mages basically bust out that Invis 2 they've been carrying the whole game. Oh wow, Maya doesn't even bother shuffling the party around.
Alright, I'm back. Nope, he's going for it. Let's root him on, everybody. Let's see this chaos go down as soon as possible.
Yeah, there goes the power bonk. Here comes Ice 3. Yeah,
Chaos
one round of power bonking. Temper's coming out, more Invis 2. And now Chaos just gets blasted in the face repeatedly.
Light 3 coming out, and the Red Wizard goes down. Not a major concern yet, but he is going through those spells.
He ain't gonna make it that far, I'm telling you. Ooh, that's a crit on the fighter, but luckily he's got a lot of healing to go. And yeah, no, that 564 damage. Another round or two like this and Chaos is done. He is never gonna make it to Cure 4 at this rate. Like, I'm not going to try and yeah, there we go. And he makes it with 59 seconds to spare to beat that hour mark. Well, 54 seconds by SRL counting, but regardless, yeah, get those GGs in chat for ichbinmiah because holy crap, this seed.
Yeah, this was a journey here. We've seen a little bit of everything, I think, in this seed, and I'm really interested to see what ichbinmiah wants to come in and say about not only this, but about the pending rematch that we are hopefully going to be privy to as well. I definitely want to see the rematch. I'm left wanting more after this race here.
Did I say 1 hour mark? I very clearly meant 2 hour mark. And what is 1 but 2 taken to the 0th power? Alright, I think we got both of our runners in here. Ice, ichbinmiah, GG. Ice.
GG's.
GG's, Ice. I'm sorry to hear what happened.
I blame Files. Honestly.
Of course we blame Files, always.
Well, it happened
She's an old-
it happened at Ordeals, and where is Files' favorite place to go?
She's an old meme, sir, but it checks out.
I have no idea what even happened. All of a sudden, just like a reset, like out of the Catman encounter on the first encounter of a power cycle, and then suddenly it was like create a party, and I was like, what?
All I can tell you is that chat speculation ran the gambit from, wait, did Ice not wait for his save to complete before powering off and resetting? To discussion of needing to purge the chaotic energy that the Vorpal has accumulated.
Well, so, alright. I saved outside of Ordeals. I ran up and got a Catman encounter. I tried to run, failed, and then reset, and then it told me to create a party. So,
And what happened right before that?
I dumped a piece of garbage into the volcano.
So Ice is tempting a fate aside. Let's talk about a different kind of temptation that you did, Ice. So you're digging around, you have beaten all 4 fiends, you know you still need the key, which means you need to go have a chat with the kindly little king of the Northwest Castle. You dig down into the depths of the Marsh Sea Shrine and come across the Ice Cave's bottom layer. You check the 3 chests that are easily accessible, and then you leave. What was your plan there?
I checked my tracker and noticed I didn't check Waterfall or On-Rack. So I was like, who wants to check Ice Cave? So I left.
Au contraire, my friend, you had already been up to the Waterfall and On-Rack, because that's where you got the slab translated.
No, Slab translated was at Gaia. That's where Lefane was.
But Melman was up
Go
at
to Belmont
Waterfall.
to get the slab translated.
No, because I did it on my way up there. When I went and checked the Waterfall, that's when I checked Slab.
Ah.
So I had went up. No, I made sure, like, I didn't check that area because I went up to go check it, and then I decided to go check the Zardia Islands, found, stuff there, and then I went to the right instead of left. So I had never checked Waterfall and On-Rack. So when I was making my way back up there after the Ice Cave, I found Melbourne, and then I went to Gaia, got it translated, got my chime, checked all that, and then I ran back to Ordeals because it was still marked on my tracker as not completed, so I went and checked down there. And I also remembered the volcano mouth being there, so I threw the Vorpal in.
What the crap was that Waterfall then?
Melman was at Waterfall.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You had gotten your slab translated because you had the chime.
I got the chime after Ice Cave check.
Okay. Never mind then. I could have sworn that you'd been up there before you went and dug Ice Cave.
No.
Whatever.
We need a flowchart.
This was a very long seed, Ice, and it's mostly your fault.
Sure.
I noticed that most of the early exploration was on the southern continents. It seems like most of your routing was almost a mirror image of one another. Maya went to an early peninsula grind. Talk us to that a little bit, Maya. Were you looking for extra gold, extra levels?
I was just looking for extra levels to make sure that I would be able to take whatever happened in Provoca there. There was a dungeon of some sort, and I figured since I had run all the way over there and I was disconnected from my ship, that I might as well gain a few levels. I had already bought one house at that point. And so when you're sitting with level 1 nuke and 2 casters, a level 1 fade, I thought to myself, well, I might as well go get the 6 or 7 levels that Papa's going to give me, and then see what this dungeon in Provoca was. And it ended up being Waterfall.
Yeah, I actually got in there early.
That was fun to dive when you don't have warp or exit.
They were both elusive for most of the run. There was a lot of walking. The encounters were high. Did any of you feel behind at some point in the run?
I felt behind right from the beginning. I had an awful start trying to make my way over to the rod lock to look for whatever the incentive item was, whether it be ship or floater or something else. Because I think we already had canoe at that point. You got that from mermaids right at the beginning. So I felt behind right from the beginning of the game.
Well, I never went into Corneria Castle, so I just dove straight into Temple of Fiends and saw that area. So I ran up there. I grabbed the first chest, left, because I got 2 Geist encounters, so I gained like 2 to 3 levels there. And then I went back, checked Corneria, found the canoe, and then I was like, okay, well, it is a required item in here. And then you find the ship right next to the incentive item. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I had to double check and think about the flags that we were running, because I left Temple of Fiends entrance and went to go see whether or not extended open progression was on before I went back and dove again.
I mean, that's fine. I forgot about both open progression being off and free bridge being off. So I got to get yelled at by Artea while you just got to be you just got to be like, oh, maybe he's looking for an encounter.
No, I was looking for a way out, and the game was not giving me one. You had to go fight an Earth to go get your progression item.
Oh, that must have been so terrible with the seed that gave you 3 white magic casters, a black magic caster, and fade and nuke out the gate.
That was
they were there.
I saw that and I started laughing at how free that was.
Yeah, no. What I appreciated about this is you chose a setup that was practically guaranteed to leave us stuck here for 3 hours, Ice. And then the seed was just like, nope. And the seed was like, never mind, just kidding. So, I guess actually, since you didn't actually get to find this out, were you watching the stream at all once you finished whatever you were doing, Ice?
No, I didn't tune in. I was playing some Tailspin.
Yeah. So, basically the way that things shook out, Bottle was in, the second chest from the right above the hole that takes you to the eye tile in the ice cave floor. And that in turn took you to Onrak, which led to diving down to almost the bottom of that dungeon to find the cube in greater than less than room. Dwarves were at the bottom of that dungeon, which, Maya, I have a question for you after this recap. And then the cube led to Northwest Castle.
That's pretty gross.
Oh, it was disgusting. It was absolutely atrocious to witness. That being said, Maya, we noticed that you took a visit down to Mr. Narek, and then decided to knock on the door next to him. Is there a reason for that?
Muscle memory. I was like, well, at this point of the game, surely I have the Mystic Key. Was what my subconscious was saying. And no, that was not the case. And so I banged on the door a little bit. They wouldn't let me in, so I left.
All these katanas and no thieves with a key.
I mean, at least that meant that y'all had free money.
That's true. Money was very free this season.
I took advantage of that in Provoca when I found all the pro rings. I was like, katanas? You mean 20,000 gold?
So you get the party, You see level 1 nuke, you see level 1 fade. What's your next thought?
Laugh.
Yeah, I the same thing. We were cracking jokes that once we saw the party that was fighter red mage, 2 white mages, that I think it was Artea said that watch Fade be at level 1, and the second I saw it, it was hilarious.
Yeah, that's actually really funny how that turned out. Just like selecting forced option, where it was just 4 forced party members, and it selected 3 mages to, partner with the nuke and double fade. I was like, oh, okay. Let's see how this seed wants us to go.
Well, we certainly saw a bit of everything. There was a lot of digging. You guys both hit a lot of chests. I think it was a really good showcase of things that can go wrong when you have entrance and floor shuffle on with vanilla.
I personally think that vanilla enemy stats and skills and scripts is a lot harder than shuffling them, because you know exactly what you're going to run into, and since you don't know the encounter table, you have no idea how to avoid them.
Yeah, I actually tend to agree with that. I think vanilla Final Fantasy with no skills or spells or statuses shuffled, with just at their base HP and experience and all of that, is plenty enough of a challenge without having to shuffle any of that. You can get yourself into some serious trouble, especially when you start shuffling entrances like this. This is these are nasty seeds if you're not careful.
Yeah, I'm looking back and I'm trying to think, what would happen without that level 1 nuke and fade? And I think we might have been here for another half hour or more.
Oh god, yes, easily.
Yeah. Yeah, one moment I particularly enjoyed with Ice was when you were digging down to the bottom of that right branch in Marsh Cave / Sea Shrine, and you go through 5 or 6 floors, and you hit that top floor of Ice Cave, and you just immediately turned around and left.
Well, I was checking that, and that's where you found the floater and the rod. So I was checking that. I didn't have warp or exit, so I immediately was like, all right, let me check the next floor, since last time I didn't do this after the volcano check, hint, where the floater was, we got trolled by the crown. So I was like, let me check this one floor and then see what's going on. And then I saw the top of Ice Cave, and I was like, all right, see you later.
It was beautiful. It was one of those things you also had just slogged through 5 floors, and so it was like, he probably is also needing to refresh his resources, but it was also just comedically perfect. Because it is the appropriate reaction to the top floor of Ice Cave, no matter what level you're at.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially when you run into, Paralisks and Cockatrices, especially with Cockatrice with Stone Touch, and then you have Paralisks with, Glance, I think?
Perilous has Squint.
Squint, yeah. So, and I had I had 1 ribbon. So I was like, I'm out of here.
Oh yeah, the 3rd ribbon was also buried behind the Oxyale.
Fantastic.
It was. I think from a viewer perspective, it was a very entertaining race. Fantastic. I'm looking forward to the rematch. Do we have any window on where that might happen? Are you guys going to schedule here again?
Yeah, I think we'll chat. I would like to try to get these done before the spring tournament starts, because otherwise my brain will explode trying to keep all of these flags straight.
Yeah, well, sounds great. I hope you schedule soon, and if possible, I would like to get on the mic again with Woat and see if we can recreate these conditions. I really enjoyed it.
Could we not exactly recreate these conditions? Could we do something different?
Well, that's up to you guys on the flags, and
it's a
I
struggle
know you guys
because I still have to do my Zelda race this week.
All right, we'll figure it out.
It's a busy time in Randoland indeed. So,
Yeah.
with that said, let's move up to some final thoughts. If you want to kick us off here, xIceblue.
Yeah, thanks to Czar and to Woat, and also to Tyrannex, who was our tracker this evening. And thanks to Speed Gaming for giving us a platform to play on. Thanks to iCiceblue for rolling a level 1 nuke red mage and 2 level 1 fade white mages. That was pretty awesome. Let's see what
Hey,
you.
I
what
didn't
you do
roll
for-
this seed.
Oh, well,
I rolled the
shoot my dice.
flags.
You were the one that wanted
Blame-
to do 4 forced.
Blame Marty for that one. He's the one that rolled the freest seed NA.
So thanks everyone for watching. I appreciate it.
Ice?
I mean, y'all saw what happened, so I mean, I don't really have anything to say. I didn't get to finish the seed out. Catmans were just too strong for my EverDrive, so they erased my save file.
And honestly, Ice, knowing what you know about what you would have had to have gone through just to get to Topher, maybe you didn't really lose out in the end.
Who's the real winner here? Let's ask that question.
I'm just gonna throw that one out there, but yeah. Thanks for being along for the ride with us, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, I will be able to hop on the mic with Czar for the rematch of this. And if not, well, hopefully whoever he finds to be a replacement Woat can provide as much entertainment as I hope I have. So, Czar, take us home.
Yes, I just want to echo the sentiments from everyone, thanking Speed Gaming for hosting us this evening. It's a busy time for Speed Gaming, busy time in Randomizer land. Looking forward for much more of the Highlander Tournament. Be sure to check out the links in the chat there. Give these runners a follow. Make sure to stay tuned to Speed Gaming for all the latest. And check out the Discord over at the Highlander Tournament. And in closing, again, we've all witnessed something I think was very special today. And some can blame it on Catmen, but others, I think, may disagree.
Gonna just point out, weapon fixes were off, so your Vorpal was no better than a silver sword. Just saying.
Well, with that said, we're going to wish you all a good evening, everybody. Thank you for watching.